Okay, people. Today, I really want to talk about how so many women in my age range, I'm 44, are holding so much private grief and still functioning. The amount of chaos that it is to be juggling your children, juggling your work, juggling your aging parents, if you are helping out with them, managing a political zombie apocalypse, and trying to be the kind of person who does the right thing that you would be proud of. And then there's just the stuff that sucks. Oh, trying to be a good friend. I have 3 friends who are at various stages of divorce right now. I want to be there for them. I'm doing my best to be there for them in the ways that I practically can help. But holy buckets. I'm going to try and make this not an explicit channel, even though I am a very F-bomb kind of person, because I would like for you to be able to play it while you have your kids around. I'm going to do my best. Hopefully, I won't let anything slip. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still figuring it all out. Anyway, I just want to say, if you are watching this and you are a woman in your 40s who also happens to be a mom or a wife or a divorced person or helping with your parents or whatever, it is so exhausting. It's just like almost comically exhausting. And so I just want to talk about a couple of the things that I do so that I don't lose my mind. I've had to be really strategic about this for a long time in my life because my life has been pretty heavy for a long time, having 5 kids and having a couple of them with permanent disabilities that mean they won't live away from me unless they're in a group home situation. They won't be able to live independently. And then just the other things that go with having 5 teenagers and young adults. So I've been working really hard to figure out how to enjoy my life and how to like being alive. Part of the reason that I'm a Move Abroad mentor is because my lifeline was moving abroad. That has helped me keep my sanity, to be really frank, or, keep some semblance of well-being. So I have such a heart for you to be making sure that you're doing things to enjoy your life, despite the fact that you're carrying just everything. And I have to tell you about the funniest thing today, because for one of my friends who's going through a divorce, we use ChatGPT to take out the emotion from our records, right? And recently I have named ChatGPT Gertrude Penelope Tromwell, Gertie for short. And so I'm often coming to Gertie and saying, can you summarize this? Or, can you summarize this in a court approved kind of way? And my friend, we're laughing a lot. Please find a way to laugh a lot, because the absurdity of everything that's going on, both at this stage of life and at this inhumane time of the world, is just, you've got to figure out a way to laugh so you do not go crazy. Anyway, So what my friend said is we need to ask Gertie to make a wrap of the events of the summary that we're writing. And so I just thought that was the most brilliant way to bring some levity to the situation, because it's really, there's just so much. There's so much. And so what I do is make sure I'm laughing or being sarcastic with friends. I think one of the beauties of being in the meme and funny reels era is just send in those. I do feel like that's like a communication form for people who are in our stage of life, especially women. So anyway, find a way to laugh. Find the beauty wherever you can find it. So I'm not saying find the silver lining of your divorce or your country crumbling under authoritarianism. That's not what I mean. Although sometimes there are funny things, right, in these situations, or we can make them funny by making them into a rap. Anyway, what I'm saying about find the beauty, it's one of my life missions. It is a phrase that I come back to over and over again. And the reason is because there is always beauty that exists. We cannot always see the beauty. We are not always tuned into the beauty. We're often, like, our viewfinder of our camera is just like full of the situation that's really hard. And so I'm just gonna say, like, sometimes we find the beauty by zooming really out in our camera viewfinder so that, you know, this situation that we were just zoomed in on is a little part of the picture, like a trash can in a beach photo, right? If you can do that, and if you can find any beauty anywhere, I don't care if it's the way the light comes through the window. I don't care if it's just having like 30 seconds of sipping tea. Hopefully if it's hot tea, you're not finishing it in 30 seconds because it would burn your mouth. But it's possible that your tea got cold like mine, and then I guess you could finish it in 30 seconds. So if some good tea is what you need, okay. If you need to make something pretty with some watercolors, whatever. Anywhere in any way that you can find beauty, just so you remember that it exists. I think of it like when you're on an airplane and it's like you're taking off and it's a thunderstorm and it's rainy, and then you go up above the clouds and you're like, oh, there's blue sky here. There's calm here. That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about finding the beauty. There is always beauty and horror, both present in the world at the same time. But if you are in the really hard, the really grievy, the really horror part, like, find a way to get above the clouds where there's like blue sky and you remember that the sunshine exists and you're out of the storm for a minute. And that can just be mentally. But I find going for a walk, being in nature, these are scientifically proven things. I'll talk about that in maybe the next video. But those things can help you like zoom out. It can help you zoom back in to something beautiful instead of something horrible. And it's a mental game. This stage of life is so a mental game, which is really ironic given the fact that like brain fog and forgetting words and feeling yucky in your body, it's an interesting time to have to play a really intense mental perspective game. But here we are, friends. Enjoy the end of my video. Reminder that I am putting a meditation minute at the end of every video, at least for the next month, of just something beautiful that you can look at for 1 minute while you breathe and while you just are quiet, just for a minute. Give yourself that gift. I'm very happy you're here, and I'll see you next time.